Just trying out this Pro Dipe SP29. I've showed this on the channel before. Just set this up. Nice spruce top, dreadnought, Zappelli back and sides. I think I've done a video on this, so I'll think of something else to talk about. I've been watching a few channels lately where it's very clear that the YouTuber has managed to build up their channel to the point where that is their job. That's all they do. You can tell because they often have the best tools, the best equipment. They produce, 3-4 quality videos. And by quality, I mean television quality. Editing, lighting. They've been doing it a while. They've got better and better and better. They've quit their day job, whatever it was. They're making enough revenue from their advertisement share and perhaps Patreon accounts, supplementary Patreon accounts, to be able to do this for a living. And you can kind of see there's a gilt edge or a gloss, higher production, sometimes even a team. I was watching a music review site the other day by a channel that posts often, and it's not just one person, it was 3 or 4 people that appeared to have a rented space or an office for the generation of videos, and that's what they do. They're making enough money to make that their main gig, and more power to them. I think that's amazing that you can do that people have managed to do that. Just the sheer thorough content of some of these channels as well. I'm thinking of a couple of music review channels. There's a couple of album review channels, and they seem to review everything that comes out in all genres. Very, very thorough and reliable content, to the point where you're gonna get a new album in the mail or something, and you're gonna think to yourself, instead of I'm gonna Google this, I'm going to go to this website because this YouTube page, because I'm sure they've done a video on it. That's how reliable they are. And it takes a lot of dedication and time to build up those channels, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's taken me 4 or 5 years just to get the humble, meager following I've got. Of course, some of these channels pander to popularity and post what people want to see. They're really interested in click counts and watches and subscribers and people hitting the bell and all that stuff, and they're driven by the opportunity to become big and make YouTube their main job. But there are other channels that are equally worth your time, and I think Ted Woodford made this comment when I was watching one of his recent videos. He said, just because I post weekly, it doesn't mean that this is my main gig. The videos are a byproduct of what I do. I repair, dozens of videos dozens of guitars off camera. And then I pick one a week to film for my channel. And that's kind of where I fall as well. I just wanted to make that clear. I do this work that I do, and only a very small percentage of what I do gets covered on the camera. For instance, I have many guitars like this one here that I've already shot videos about, and I don't want to have repeat information on my channel. I've already done a video on a lot of these Pro Dipe models, so I'm not going to just keep cranking out the same video again and again. So there are lots of guitars that I work on, repair, sell, set up, etc., that are done off camera. I don't mention them on this site. So this channel, as with some others, is sort of a byproduct of a job that I do. And this is not even a full-time gig for me. I also teach. So, this is split. My teaching and my instrument work is split about 50-50. Plus, I try to maintain a music presence with a Bandcamp page and a musician website. So I've got to factor in time for that as well. It's not doesn't pay very well at all. I get a dribble of sales on my Bandcamp page. So my main uh, money making activities involve either doing repairs and setups or from teaching my classes as a part-time instructor at a college. That isn't incredibly high paying either. So I'm kind of stitching together all of these things, and my YouTube, whatever I get for revenue share on my YouTube is meager, and I've only just started getting them in the last few months since I've qualified to be able to you know turn on those features on my channel, and it took 4 years to do that. So I don't want anyone to think this is my main gig or I make a living from this. Far from it. Um, you know, I don't make very much at all, and I film very little of what I'm actually doing because a lot of it is doldrum work. You don't want to see, you know, everything that I do because it's not that interesting or exciting. And I think guys who work on guitars, whether they're doing setups or full-blown restorations or repairs, will tell you the same thing. They can't possibly show you all that they do. For one thing, it slows down the process because you're filming, and you've got to crank out to clients and things like that. So you only film little bits of it and bits that you feel like you haven't covered before. So I think it's important to make those distinctions between channels. There are guys who are professional YouTubers. They've become professional YouTubers. There are teams of people that have become sort of mini television channels that are broadcasting on YouTube, probably Twitch as well, Vimeo, maybe other venues. And then there are amateurs, people who are passionate about what they do. So they film a little bit of it and they've crafted a channel around what they do. And then, of course, there are people that are very small channels that were what I were 2 years ago, and you know, they don't have the popularity or the watch count to claim any revenue or anything like that, and they're literally filming in their spare time, probably working a full-time job. So, you know, I think it's important to make those distinctions and to be able to not expect too much from, or not allow the smaller channels who don't have the tools, the resources, the time, the space, or the professional aptitude to compete with those channels that are clearly really well established and making lots of money and able to broadcast, you know, in a manner that would befit, you know, a show on a 20-30 minute spot on a cable TV channel. So yeah, it's interesting, this world of YouTube. I started out as a beginner. I've sort of worked to intermediate stage, which I think is going to be a long process, and probably I'll never leave that stage. And then there are, you know, these people that are incredibly established, slick productions, you know, sort of almost professional full-time gigs. You can see it with your eyes, you can hear it with your ears, but there are good channels in all those different representations and levels of YouTube, and hopefully I can be considered one of them at some point in time. All right, folks, thanks for listening to my twaddle. See you on the next one.